Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitch Hiking Yeti here, and today I'm in Salisbury, North Carolina, because I want to share something a little bizarre with you today. I'm going to take you to look at a grave that I've never been to before, but this grave does not have a body, but a severed body part, and it's about a few blocks this way. So let's get hiking and go check this crazy little grave out. Let's do it, you and I, right now. So before we make our way over to the cemetery, I wanted to show this cool mural here on the side of this building here in Salisbury. It says "Drink Coke," which is kind of cool because I'm definitely a Coke drinker, but Salisbury is known for another drink that was born right here in town. The soft drink of choice is here on the other side, on the opposite side of this very narrow, skinny building. Look at this. Can you see that mural right there? Drink Cheerwine. Cheerwine was born right here in Salisbury, and they have a really cool festival every spring, the Cheerwine Festival. And I attended it last year. I actually got a video of that very festival if you're ever interested in coming. It is really, really cool. I will put a link in the description down below if you want to go check that out and kind of see what that festival is all about. And I think you have a really good time. I know I did. So that being said, we got this out of the way. I had to show the Cheerwine because we were in Salisbury. So now we're going to push forward and go to this cemetery and check out this grave. Yes. All right, friends, I have made it to the cemetery. This is called the Old Lutheran Cemetery, located here in Salisbury. And they have a placard out front. And if you want to come check this place out for yourself, this is what you're looking for. Established in 1768. Man, this is old. Check this out. All right. The wall was built in 1878, so it has this brick wall, which is going to be, is kind of a marker for me to find this grave and go through this little spooky gate here. Kind of gothic looking. My wife has already beaten me as she's out walking me right now, but so this is what it looks like. So this grave houses a severed body part, and this is not like a John Bobbitt body part. It's not that type of a video. If anybody can remember that story. Yeah, if you've never heard of John Bobbitt, just maybe Google that. He had a wife named Lorena Bobbitt, and he had a severed body part too. But this one didn't go that direction. And as soon as I find the headstone, it should have some writing on it giving us the story of what body part it was and how it happened. And that's what we're going to look for. It's around here somewhere. As I'm searching through the cemetery, I come across this. Look at these graves. They like got their own little metal fencing that goes around them. But I don't really see much writing on these graves at all. Actually, I've already kind of circled around, but I don't see a whole lot of anything. They just look really old. All right, I found it. We found it. Here we go. Check this out. This is the grave, and it is right up against the wall here. How bizarre is this? So let's take a look at it. Ooh, let me just bend down here. So here it is. Here's the headstone. It says, "Foot of James A. Reed, severed by a freight train on November 25th, 1893. So what do you think about that? I mean, check this out. This guy's foot is buried beneath the ground right here. It's even, no pun intended, has a little footstone. That is crazy. And look at the ironic part to this is right across the wall is a train track. I mean, it's right here. And I think the old Salisbury like train depot was just right down the street here a piece. Not far at all. So my question is, Mr. James A. Reed, they buried his foot here. The train tracks are there. Is this where it happened? Is that why it's so close? You know, I mean, did he get ticked off after it happened and just throw it into the cemetery and somebody just dug it up? No, I'm just kidding. That's so silly. But by all means, I mean, this is just so weird. And the next thing you got to say is like, well, if his foot's here, where is the gentleman's body? Right? Don't worry, I got you covered. I did look that up online, and we're going to go to that graveyard next, because he is actually buried not too far from here. A few miles, maybe 5 miles or something like that. It might be a little more, a little less, but you don't got to worry about it because I'm going to take care of all that. It will be instantaneous for you when we arrive at the other church, the graveyard cemetery, where he lies to this very day. I will say this, I hope I can find it, because there was very little documentation on him being buried there. So, you know, findagrave.com helps, but they didn't have, because he's not famous, they didn't have like a good marker of where he was buried. It just said he was buried there. So no promises, but I'm going to try to do my best with this, okay? But I did want you to see this, because this right here is one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard about, is a severed foot being buried in a cemetery, and it's got its own headstone, and it's got the date it happened. So I'm thinking James A. Reed was a pretty cool dude. All right, he had to have a sense of humor to bury his own foot, you know. So I already kind of like this guy, and I don't even know him, but I'm sorry he lost his foot. So that being said, let's proceed to the other cemetery. All right, I have made my way back across the graveyard, and I gotta say, this graveyard is really pretty cool. If you like old graves, this is a good one. And as some people say, when you leave a graveyard, you want all the people to rest in peace back there, and don't follow me home. And that's all I got to say about that. Don't be following me home. Rest in peace and stay there, my friends. All right, friends, we have made it to the destination where James A. Reed's body is located and buried. It's at the Trading Ford Baptist Church, right outside of Salisbury, in a little area called Spencer. And right here is the front. Tells you a little bit about the church. Trading Ford Baptist Church, organized in 1870, rebuilt in 1924, and remodeled in 1944. The Student Center. And right over here is the graveyard. Let's do it. All right, friends, so now I have made it over to the graveyard area, and it's actually very easy to find the grave of James A. Reed. It's right here. Like, you just have the parking lot, you know, right here, and then it's located here, and you can't miss it because it's like outlined. And it says James A. Reed, born December 11th, 1845, died June 2nd, 1920, which he lost his foot in, what was it, 1893? So he would have been about 48 years old, just shy of 50, when he lost his foot. But this is where he lays, Mr. James A. Reed. All right, guys, that will pretty much do it for me. It was so cool to come out here and see James A. Reed's grave where he lies I had to pay my respects to this man. He must have had a great sense of humor to bury his own foot. You know, back in Salisbury. This is actually in an area kind of known as Spencer, I believe. And it's about 7 or 8 miles outside of Salisbury, but really cool to come out here and pay my respects to him. And yeah, that will pretty much do it for us today. You know, he lived another like 27 years after he lost his foot. I think he would have died, I guess, around about 75 years old. So at least he had a long life, even if the last 27 years was without the glorious foot. Until next time, I'm the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I will see you friends in our next adventure. Y'all stay safe.